Hey guys, Wolfboy here, and welcome back to Master Chief Collection. Excuse me, Master Chief Collection. And since it is today is the second year of my dad's passing, and I figured why not just actually take the time to play a game, play one of the Halos that really reminds me of him. And first starting off with the first one. I can still remember one mission from the top of my head that absolutely scared the crap out of me. And I still remember when we were playing co-op one time. Keys was the first mission was one of the missions that absolutely terrified me. Besides the guilty spark when the orbiter, the monitor was first introduced, and then then going to this one that absolutely terrified me. It's but it was one of the missions that really kind of brought me and my dad a little closer. Because I remember asking him, like, if he was like ever scared, and he did say honestly that some adults can be scared of such things, but from a game it's completely different. Even though images may haunt your mind, but the adults still can be scared in such situations. So I'm gonna play this mission again. And try to bring me more forward to my dad's. I'm gonna put on the classic. I'm gonna keep it on the classic. I'm gonna keep it on normal for now. Done that. No skulls. Let's go. It's I can say honestly that like the past couple of weeks it's been rough because my dad has been on my mind quite often.
Chaos. From what I've been able to piece together, their leadership ordered all ships to abandon Halo when they found the flood, but they were too late. The flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. The Covenant are terrified the flood will repair the ship and use it to escape from Halo. They've sent in a strike team to neutralize the flood and repair the ship for immediate departure. I've got a good lock on Captain Key's CNI transponder signal. He's alive, and the implants are intact. There's some interference from the cruiser's damaged reactor. I'll bring us in as close as I can. Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry.
I still remember that part.
Captain? Captain? I've lost him.
Yeah, this is like one of the missions that really terrified me. Because I was like little at the time. I was probably like still in elementary at the time. So it terrified me. Still remember like I accidentally kept killing my dad a bunch of times because I could not even keep myself looking in the direction that he was telling me to, and so I completely screwed him up. Well, completely screwed us up, and just because there was one corridor that the flood was like coming out from like all directions, and just like he told me to look in one direction, he would look the other, and then, and for like the past past 3 or 4 times, I had to.
This hole was caused.
I kept turning around and killing him by accident.
Through the ship's hull. All I detect down there are pools of coolant.
Oh god, I did not mean to do that. But yeah, it was in one of the corridors when we went back on the ship. That I remember. So good to get back to the old graphics. So good. Oh shit, did I mean to do that?
Let's get out of here and find another way back aboard the ship.
Okay. It's been a little while since I played the Master Chief Collection, so yeah. Well, even playing the first game, because after I finished that back in like some of my like early years of YouTube, the Master Chief Collection was like the first kind of game that I played before. Oh god. And see, it was like these kind of parts that like terrified me the most. Just the graphics of them. And it's like, I'm just gonna turn that off. I don't want to save the battery. Come on. There we go. Those reach days have finally paid off. Well, I didn't know why, like in the first Halo, that I had to put in like so many rounds in the assault rifle. But then pretty much like going back to the game. Going back to like the other games when they decreased the rounds, having it be like 32 or something like that. That was a more reasonable amount instead of having it like 60, which would have been more of like somewhat of an overkill. Oh god. There we go. Oh god, what am I being hit from? Oh, an elite. Oh shit, god damn it. Stay away from me, you son. Another time from the Master Chief Collection was the first Halo. Me and my dad, it was a different mission from this one. That absolutely terrified me. We were going to like the custom game from time to time and like go on a 1-1, and sometimes he would still beat the crap out of me. It would be like either like in the teens I would be in like in the teens range, and he would already win like right off the bat. He was like a full-on gamer like me back in the day, and just yeah. So we pretty much both had something in common, that we were both gamers at heart, and just like yeah. I remember like my dad used to play like a lot of like those computer games with his friends back in the day, and just like he sometimes he would be playing computer games with me and my brother. And those were fun times too. It was Age of Empires. That was a really good game. And even though he like got me into it like so much, I would really want like to take the time to go back and play that like sometime. So that was like my favorite game, like on my personal time as well. There was a lot of games like back in the day that like that really struck me. It really caught my interest because Age of Empires was more of a medieval kind of game, and just like I know like the other Age of Empires games were like more of like colonial or whatever, but those were like still some good games. Shotgun. Thank you for the shotgun rounds. Let's keep moving. But yeah. And earlier today, I went out to gym with my friends, and since my dad used to bring me to the gym, sometimes with him. I was able to keep my cool and not like really break down, but knowing myself, I would like break down anyway because today was one of those days that was like getting like all emotional. It was a rough time, and so yeah.
The crash did more damage than I suspected. Analyzing. Power source detected. Coolant leakage rate is significant. The ship's reactor should already have gone critical.
Well, I think I pretty much screwed up the dialogue. I remember another time. I just remembered another time too, when me and my dad were playing Halo, and it was during the second mission, where you're pretty much in one of the warthogs, and you're pretty much searching around for the other survivors. We had such a blast just riding around in the warthog. We had such a blast. Well, I had such a blast, but just like, well, because I was like still a kid at the time. I really enjoyed the game that much, and so It was hard to say that I didn't enjoy anything that was going on in that game. I absolutely loved the hell out of the game. But I'm glad that my dad like kind of brought me into Halo because I would have had such a rough time trying to find a game that actually kind of brought me to more of a imaginative kind of personality.
Analyzing. Coolant leakage rate is significant. The ship's reactor should already have gone critical. Power source detected. There's the gravity ring. It's still up.
Yeah. Those were like good times though too. I also remember when different from besides playing Halo, there was a Star Wars game back in the day. When I was talking about playing the Battlefront games, there was that one Battlefront game out there, the old one, the Battlefront 2, the old one. I really enjoyed that one, and my dad would like come and watch me like play it sometimes, just like seeing what the game was all about, and just like those are good times. I can pretty much talk about my dad. Like I can pretty much talk about my dad as long as I want, as long as like I can still keep his memory going and all that. But it's like I don't really want to like bore you guys just like talking about some like my oh god. Okay. Let's keep going this way. Oh god, why is there another? I could keep going like talking about my dad, but just like I don't really want to bore you guys as well. But either way, you might be interested about like what he did, or just like what was going on.
Look in the corners. The flood are gathering bodies here.
God, whoa, 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 whoa! What in the hell? Thank God, it was a shotgun. God damn, it was a shotgun. What was I trying to say? What was I trying to say? But yeah. Let's see. I still remember another time, like when me and my dad, I think it was this corridor. No, it was another. No, it was another corridor. It was not this one. I remember which one it was, but it was not this one. I still remember, like, when I was still in elementary, and me and my brother would be waiting for the bus. My dad would go off playing some Linkin Park as well. Those are some good times too. But rest in peace, Chester Bennington, for like the work that he did. Not only was he trying to help himself, he was trying so hard to keep like his life at ease and trying to keep going. But he was also trying to help the other people that are struggling out there. And to what I saw earlier today, when Linkin Park released a recent video about 2 weeks ago, when they had their live show in Hollywood, celebrating Chester's life. And when they were going back, playing some like the old stuff back then, that really kind of struck me. That really kind of that really hit me. I think what was the song? It was Leave Out All the Rest that really got me. That song was like always my favorite from them. What I've Done was a good one, because I know they did that. Not only did they do that for like Transformers, but like they were also trying to continue with their prevention of suicides, and trying to like help them see that whatever done is done. But there's still time to fix your mistakes. And I think that's like what the meaning of that song. That like they're trying to pretty much, that everyone's trying to like help each other out in a way that's like they can go back and fix their problems. Because it's still not too late to fix everything that we've done. It was this corridor. Now I remember. It was this one. It was this one. I remember. My dad. We were sitting smack dab in the middle of that corridor. We were sitting smack dab right in the center of that. And that was like when I turned around multiple times, accidentally killing my dad, because one, I was screen hopping and trying to help him out, and I didn't realize that with the shotgun he like killed him instantly. And then two, it's definitely like screwed us up. So we were left with oh my god. We were pretty much left with like a bunch of frustration and just like, yeah. My dad, though, he was, sometimes for me, he was hard to read, hard to tell. But he was always a serious man. He was always that kind of, he always took a lot of determination in helping out the family that he raised. And I remember, if I remember correctly, someone once told me that when my dad was young, he always dreamed about having a family, and then when he met my mom, that kind of happened. That kind of made his dream come true, pretty much. And he was really pleased with it. He was really happy about it. And he pretty much did everything that he could to keep the family going. After all the struggles that we went through. Oh gosh, get out of my way. Yeah, it was in this quarter right there, where we're sitting smack dab in the middle of it.
Looks like another shuttle bay. We should be able to reach the control room from the 3rd level. He's delirious. Hey, we have to find him.
But let's see, what else could I talk about? He always put his family first. He tried working so hard to collect the money to support the family that he was raising, pretty much for me and my brother. And then some people could see that he was struggling with such things, but just I had a hard time seeing it. I was blind to even know that he was struggling. And I wish now, if I only knew that he was struggling, I would have done more for him. I would have not been much trouble than I was back then, and just actually help him. But I didn't. I was blind to even see it. But at least he knows that that he loved his family very much. That he did what he loved to do. He went out supporting his family, keeping a roof over our heads. And just oh god, no! But yeah. And after his passing, I went back and listened to a lot of the stuff that he listened to. A lot of 70s and 80s stuff. That's what he was really into.
The captain!
So
his vitals are fading. Please, Chief, hurry!
Yeah. I remember, I also remember, that, hold on, let me just take a minute here, because I've been, rambling my mouth the entire, the past, 25 minutes, talking about him, but, our relationship, did, struggle, after Dad and Mom had their divorce back in late 2000, early 2010. Things weren't really right between me, my brother, and my folks, and we pretty much tried so hard to try to keep it together. We eventually had to go to someone to actually talk about our problems, and it was actually pretty good that we managed to talk about our struggles and and not really blaming our folks for like the quote-unquote suffering, but we understood like what was going on. Just like we had to accept that what we couldn't really do, and so we had to accept that like they weren't really gonna get back together. Just like, yeah. But the divorce was really rough. But at least we had like other people to talk about. I know my dad tried to help me with trying to become a better person, trying to help me with my speech and all that. And then my mom tried to help me with a lot of things. A lot of trying to go with a lot of fashion to get the attention of other people, but just that didn't really go as well.
No human life signs. The captain, he's one of them.
But this part like always scared me.
We can't let the flood get off this ring. You know what he'd expect. What he'd want us to do. It's done. I have the code. We should go. We need to get back to...
Oh, hold on, let me pause it really quick so I can talk about this part. After seeing that part, and where this was like the kind of part where me and my dad had to stop right here because I couldn't really take like the scene that I witnessed, and so we had to save and quit here and we had to wait until I was actually ready to finish up the mission, because later that night, I tried to get some sleep, but I was still like so scared. I still remember like the dreams that I was having, that the same thing that what happened to Keys, that his mouth opened wide and he was trying to suck me in, and each time that happened, I always like woke up with sweat on my head and just like completely like panting like crazy.
Let's go back to the
I was
Shuttle Bay
really
and find
scared
Ryan.
from that one. Oh god. A shotgun already? Shotguns? Oh god. But yeah, and this part we struggled a lot with. Oh god. This part we really struggled. Oh god damn. Okay, whoa! Okay.
We need to
That
get
did not
back
work
to
as
the
well.
Pillar of Autumn. Let's go back to the Shuttle Bay and find a ride.
Oh, hello. Yeah, pretty much just let them get distracted for a bit. I don't think there was a terminal in this one. No, there was. I remember now. There was. I'm just trying to remember like where. God. And then let's see. The last thing I can remember from my dad was that we were driving home one time from work, and I was showing him another band that I was listening to, and it was actually one of the first bands that I listened to that he really took an interest in, because he was never really into like the music that was today. He was more of what's the word? an old style kind of person. He pretty much was he was old fashioned. That's what I meant to say. He was old fashioned, and so he. Can I? No, I don't think so. Some of the Banshee's coming in. I really need to catch it. But okay, yes I can.
Grab one of the escort banshees and we'll use it to return to the Pillar of Autumn.
So when I talked to him about it, he did say that he would look into it, and I was shocked that he would want to take interest in a musical band that I listen to sometimes. And usually he was not really into that. He never really took in like any interest in some of the stuff. Yeah. I think I'm actually gonna cut it here. That's pretty much like all I have to say about my dad so far. Well, if you guys do want to hear more about my dad, I will have the comments open at any time, or in the the discussion thing on my channel, if that even still is on after YouTube updated it. But yeah, I'll have my comments. I'll have my discussions and comments open if you guys want to know more about my dad. But yeah. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to check out the invitations in the previous videos that I made. And thank you again so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next hunt. See ya.
This thing is falling apart!
It'll hold.
We're not gonna make it!
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up! You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Crazy son of a bitch.